So we've just had a new Battlefield 2042 trailer drop showing some gameplay from a couple of maps we haven't really seen much of: Renewal, Breakaway and Discarded. There's a couple of nice things in here. Firstly, it's just a breath of fresh air to actually see some maps other than Orbital, especially, here on Renewal. Inside the building on this map, it really reminds me of Zebra Tower actually from Battlefield 3. Does anybody else get that vibe? Perhaps it's just the clean aesthetic. We also get a look at one of the new LMGs, the PKP BP, which I'm going to assume is like the real life PKP Pecheneг. It sounds beefy as hell though, way more powerful than the LMG we got in the beta. Overall, Renewal does look like it'll be a slightly smaller map though, because it only has 5 flags compared to the 6 that we played on in Orbital. And then next here we get a look at somebody playing as Sundance on the Breakaway map in Antarctica. And this map, you can see, is split up into this sort of glacial zone down below, and then you've got the oil rig, and then you have this glacial shelf that they're fighting on at the moment. And then beyond that, over to the right side, I guess that's where you have the sort of non-snowy area of the map where the oil fires are burning. That's probably where you're going to have the E flag there. This one definitely gives me Operation Whiteout vibes from Battlefield 4, and you can see this one has 6 flags, so that puts it on par with Orbital size-wise. Right here you can see the A, B and D sectors, which all appear to be down on ground level below this glacial shelf. And interestingly enough, the D flag only has 1 capturable point, whilst the A flag has 3. So I guess the C flag is somewhere there over in the distance, and it seems like this icy shelf they're fighting on is the F sector. I guess that means that E is all the way over to the right side of the map, out of shot. Now, as McKay traverses this zip wire here, we also get a quick little snippet of one of the Ripsaw tanks rolling over the ice here. This thing looks super cool. This is actually one of the vehicles that we have seen the least so far in Battlefield 2042. So I really can't wait to hop into one of those, see what they're capable of, what kind of a light tank they are, and just what sort of weaponry is actually going to be available to them. And then finally here we have the Discarded map set in India, and we've got Dozer going absolutely ham with the 12M Auto, which I believe is the real-life Sega 12. And again, this looks to be a slightly smaller map with only 5 flags. And then finally, in the last couple of shots, we see a Nightbird helicopter with some new guns equipped. These are not the miniguns that we had in the beta. These are 20mm cannons. And for those of you who've played Battlefield 4, you'll know in that game you get a primary weapon option over the miniguns to take the 25mm cannons, and they do look like they are explosive and do a ton of splash damage, so that would definitely align with how the 25mm cannons in Battlefield 4 performed. So yeah, not the longest trailer in the world, but it is nice to see DICE actually showing us some of the remaining maps that we really know nothing about, or we haven't seen a ton. It was nice to see Breakaway, I thought, and get a proper overview of the map. You could definitely see all the different zones. The other 2 maps, they didn't really show us too much of Renewal. They didn't show us any of the sort of dusty side of it. You'll notice that they only showed us the nice green farming side of it. They didn't actually show us anything from the dusty side, and it would have been nicer to see some more of Discarded, but I'm sure they're going to bring out some more of these little gameplay highlight trailers as we lead up to the release of the game here. A lot of people have also asked me, Ghost, do you think there are going to be any more jets in the game? Out of all the vehicles in the game, it feels like the jets are the ones that get the fewest options. There are only 2 jets in the game, those being, of course, the F-35 and the Su-57, and I mean, if you compare that to Battlefield 4, the last game with actual jets, we had 6 jets, right? So having only 2 feels a little bit lackluster. Honestly, I would have to say if they had more jets coming out at launch, we probably would have seen them by now. So I would assume those are going to be the only 2 in the game, but hopefully we'll get some more later on down the line. Anyway, that is going to do it for this one, guys. Let me know what you thought of the trailer down in the comments. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.